You know, Sidney Powell and Lynn Wood get all the press coverage when it comes to being people who have bought hook, line, and sinker on certain conspiracy theories, but Mike Lindell's been very loud. If you're not familiar with Mike Lindell, he's the CEO of MyPillow. I used to be a crackhead. Now I've reformed my life and I'm worth over $330 million. I make MyPillow right here in Minnesota. It's made out of machine-washable material with my patented fill. And he claims to have all the proof when it comes to Dominion voting systems. He put out a video, which nobody's capable to watch, but we'll get to that in a minute. But he also had what is now becoming an infamous, or as much as you can be when you're on Newsmax. Newsmax is just kind of pretending to be your friends. More or less, they're just capitalizing on the mass exodus of Fox News viewers that are no longer really paying attention to anything that's happening with mainstream media, but they still need their fix, I suppose. But yeah, let's just give you a brief breakdown of how this Newsmax interview crosstalk segment, I don't know, and then we'll just play the little bit on the end there. It's wow, it's wild. Pro-Trump network Newsmax on Tuesday cut the microphone of Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow, after he started amplifying bogus conspiracy theories about the 2020 election while on air. This is Business Insider. They've been diving further and further to the left with their coverage. I used to kind of like them, but what can you do? What can you do? Well, first mine was taken down, in regards to his Twitter account, Mike Lindell's, because we have all the election fraud with these Dominion machines. We have 100% proof, and they took it down. And then Bob Sellers cut him off with the stock response by Newsmax. When Dominion was handing out, prior to their lawsuits, a bunch of retraction notices, Fox News did it, Newsmax did it as well, and that's why they had to throw up this little disclaimer, which I'm sure they probably have taped right to the top of the desk, just in case anybody starts to utter the words machines and before that first duh starts coming out. Mike, you're talking about machines. Now, we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those kinds of allegations. Yes, the only people who are trying to verify the allegations are out in Maricopa County, and we haven't heard word one about that audit, and we'll probably hear about that at the same time we hear about who built the cages down at the border. We just want to let people know that there's nothing substantive that we've seen, and let me read you something. And then, yes, the crosstalk continued, and then eventually we got to this point in the interview, which I'll play for you guys. The dude in the middle is, I think he's Bob Sellers. He's just had enough. Mike's just yapping, flapping his gums, but they're both cross-talking over one another, and cute blonde girl over there is just wondering, what the fuck am I watching right now? Yeah. So Mike's getting pretty heated, and then Bob Sellers, exits stage left. Just, this theoretically happened on a major news channel. This happened on one of the most famous cable news networks. I don't know specifically about the show, nor do I really care, because mainstream media should be dead to everybody. But with that said, they were just talking about his Twitter account being canceled or being permanently suspended, however they want to put it. And oh my god, it's the end of the world that somebody's Twitter account gets canceled. Who fucking gives a shit? It's a bastion of pedophilia, and I won't be using it other than to make sure that the other side is still being as ideologically inconsistent as ever. But what's even slimier, and we'll just go to a rather large outlet than USA Today. Look at how they frame this. MyPillow still in Costco despite Mike Lindell's support of Trump election fraud claims, but out of Kohl's and JCPenney. See how they're telling you that, because this guy's a nut, he's having his products removed from these floundering businesses? I think that's fair. But still, the one successful company is still keeping the product in stock, so you should probably, take action against them without actually calling for it because, well, he's a nut after all. He's just making all of these baseless claims. But, it's still widely available on Amazon, so I don't think it really much matters that you can't get your pillow at JCPenney or Kohl's or Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh no, who cares? But yeah, prior to all this stuff, the last time that I thought of Mike Lindell, other than when I put my head on my pillow every night because, well, it's the best pillow that I've ever owned, was when he was being attacked for bringing up something at the Rose Garden when he was part of the assembly that Trump put together earlier in the spring, I think it was. Yeah, all the CEOs that were going to move over manufacturing their products to making masks, and Mike Lindell was one of the guys there, and then he started reading off a Bible verse or something rather religious, and then the media needlessly attacked him. But if he was reading something about the great glory of Allah, he would have been platformed on every channel and would have had thousands of interview opportunities. But because everybody already knows he's crazy, I don't. I think he's a very inspirational story of how to beat a crack addiction and be worth over $300 million over the course of, a decade and a half. But yeah, he was claiming that he had all this evidence and it would quickly come out. And he put out a film, Absolute Proof, but it was taken down by YouTube and Vimeo. Okay, so I can't even look at the veracity of these claims. I'm sure it's available through other different channels, but it's just funny, right? So yeah, what was this about? The documentary aired 4 times on One American News Network, which has questioned the legitimacy of Biden's election. For our presidential integrity policy, we remove content uploaded after a safe harbor deadline that advances false claims of widespread fraud, errors, or glitches changed to the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Unless you're Time Magazine and you just come out and say and lay out your entire plan, then that's fine. Because nothing's happened in my video yet on the Time Magazine, and many other much larger sources have covered it as well. Maybe not in as much detail, but have still made pointed reference to it. They're all doing fine. So what's the policy now, YouTube? 2-hour video rehashed a handful of unverified conspiracy theories that both Lindell and a large swath of people in former President Donald Trump's orbit have promoted since Election Day. Well, depending on which conspiracy theories were floated, I might be a part of that, but at the same time, I don't take anything that claims that the voting machines were the sole reason for any impropriety happening. That's just not my deal. It's never been my deal. Similarly, Vimeo removed the video for violating Vimeo's policy on posting content that claims that the 2020 presidential election was fraudulent or stolen or otherwise illegitimate. Wow. Vimeo trying to be relevant. That's cute. Remember when they were almost the YouTube competitor until they started to cuck out? That's funny. One American News Network, which has been threatened with lawsuits from 2 main targets of the conspiracy theory since the election, aired a disclosure ahead of the documentary's premiere in which the network specified the film should be viewed only as opinions only, not established facts. Exactly. All of this stuff is opinion, because when one party won't let you compare the numbers and the other one has different numbers, if you just let people compare some fucking facts from both sides of the aisle, actually come together and find out what the truth is. But that's not the point. That's not what they want. They just want you to think that there's nothing that you can really do about it. They already have all the plans figured out, and you're just going to have to live in that space. I don't quite buy that. So yeah, it doesn't look like Mike Lindell's going to have much of a future when it comes to being a film director, but he still has that wildly successful MyPillow business. But you know what? He has a new competitor in the market now. Oh, of course not. There's too much money in them there pillow hills. Parkland shooting survivor, David Hogg. Yeah, survivor? Wasn't he not even in the complex when the shooting happened? But yeah, he's the survivor, just like AOC. Plans to take down MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell with a new progressive pillow company. I'm sure it will sell 2.8 dozen pillows. This kid fails at literally everything. The fact that he's even relevant makes me sick to my stomach, but the joke's been made 100 times, but what's his alternative to MyPillow going to be called? Cry Pillow? Dude, you got into Harvard on a fucking pity acceptance. Stop embarrassing yourself. He's one of the big advocates for gun control and, well, not even gun control, confiscation. And if he wants to start sorting out which big scary rifles should be illegal, he should just provide everybody with a taste test to figure out which ones we should start with. But yeah, that's the update on MyPillow, Mike Lindell. I'm the CEO. Everybody's out to get me. I have all the proof, but nobody wants to see it. And nobody can see it because they're just censoring the truth. Like I said, I like the dude. Turn around your life like that is something that should be commended and not ridiculed. But it's another one of those things where you can see where those more sophisticated psyops, like QS, can really find a way to weave itself into people that are addicts, former addicts, very structured individuals. Like, why did it rope in a bunch of military people? Why did it rope in the religious community? Well, because they have very strict adherence to rules and guidelines, and as soon as you start laying out a plan for them that just relies totally on faith, it's pretty easy to draw the parallels. But with that said, I wish Mike Lindell the best of luck in all of his future endeavors. Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.